So try this. The GOP sticking to America First values is a midterm winner. That's the subject of the riff. As I mentioned last night, President Trump's State of the Union message was captivating, optimistic, growthier, and gracious. He was in a good mood. He was shaking hands with the Supreme Court, who ruled against him on emergency tariffs. That's one example. Even when he told the Democrats they were crazy for not standing up and applauding anything, he wasn't curling his lips into a sneer. He was really just saying it's kind of a joke, a jest, even a bafflement. But we know President Trump can also be fire and brimstone when it comes to fighting on key issues, such as getting that one big, beautiful bill passed and closing the border, deporting illegal criminals, upholding immigration laws, changing the culture, expressing his own faith, proclaiming American patriotism. After all, Mr. Trump did not back down from his America First, MAGA, drain the swamp beliefs. He did not turn into some wussy moderate Republican. He wasn't trying to curry favor with certain voters by unveiling a bunch of compromises that would make no sense and would be a big turnoff. He hung tough on the issues, and following his lead, I want to single out Senate Majority Leader John Thune and what Mr. Thune told me on this show last evening. I think we have the tape. Here, play it.
We're looking at a recon 2.0. You know, obviously we're having conversations about a potential talking filibuster. Those are a whole range of things, a highway bill, a farm bill. There are a lot of things out there, Larry, that we could be working on together if the Democrats weren't afflicted with such a case of Trump derangement syndrome that they are blinded and unable to function in a way that even delivers on the very basic, you know, functions of the American government for the American people.
Boom. Boom. That's John Thune. Democrats' Trump derangement syndrome. So as I said, hanging tough. Now, I'm not going to get into the legislative details. Senator Ted Cruz is going to be here in just a moment. He's going to give us his thoughts. But it just strikes me how different this Republican Party is under President Trump and leaders like John Thune and Mike Johnson and, indeed, the leadership team in both houses. They are driven by core beliefs and values, and they are not about to give up in the face of Democratic opposition like so many Republicans gave up before them. It just so happens that the Democrats have moved so far to the left that the new Republican Party actually has become the party of common sense, precisely by sticking to their America First values. And I'm going to wager that sticking to America First common sense values is absolutely the best strategy to beat history and win the midterm elections come November. That's the riff.